All right. Hello everyone. It's been a while. It's your boy Get Silius here, back at it again with another video game review. And this time I'm reviewing an indie platformer called, and I'm gonna be horrible pronouncing this, Basureroes. Developers of this game, I believe, are from España. So I'll leave it what it is. But Basureroes is a 2D action, I would say 2D action platformer in a way, with multiple playable characters done in a pixel art style, and I'll probably get more deeper into it. If you haven't already, before I get to the review, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so I'll be notified next to go live with content, and then you'll be able to check me out doing other stuff on the Outerhaven YouTube page, such as streaming, podcasting, reviews like this, and more here on the Outerhaven YouTube channel. So let's get into this game. So as I mentioned, Basureros Invasion is a 2D action platformer. It has 8-bit graphics. It's pretty interesting in that regard. The game was developed by Jandu Soft SL and published by Jav Soft Game Studio. So, how do I feel about this game? This game is kind of okay. I feel like overall this game is a platformer and it does that okay, but it's not enough to like. It's not the greatest platformer in its regards. It's kind of like, oh, it's a video game. It's kind of one of those things. I'll get more to get that when I get in detail to talk more about the review. But before we get to more and more about the review, let's talk about the first thing about any video game. Let's talk about the graphics and the aesthetics. So as we talk about the graphics, the aesthetics, it's pixel art. It's okay. It kind of gives me the vibes of like early Flash or Newgrounds kind of art games. The pixel art is okay. The detail is there in the sprites. The bosses look like bosses, though they're mostly kind of inspired by like Mega Man style bosses and other 2D platformers from like Mario and maybe some elements of Sonic in there. But that's kind of it. Graphic aesthetically, it does work with the superhero concept, and I would just set this Saturday morning Sentai or Power Rangers aesthetic. But other than that, graphically and aesthetically, it's a 3. It doesn't really wow me that well. It doesn't do anything bad, but it's just kind of like it's there, but it doesn't pop out in a way where I feel like it's meaningful or anything. The next thing I want to talk about is the audio and sound effects, particularly the music, how it sounds, I think. There is little to no voice acting in the game, so that's out the window. The sound effects of it sounds pretty, I would say, nothing, again, catching the eye. It's kind of derivative. None of the tracks slap in a way that makes me go, yeah, I love this stage. I love this. Oh, yeah, it's super awesome. It just serves its purpose, and you can play this game with sound down, use your own music to make it sound better. It's just a 2, man. It ain't all there, man. It's a 2. I mean, it's well, what more can I say? It's not engaging. It's not engaging. The music is okay. It's not engaging. It doesn't really pop in any way. There's nothing memorable about the soundtrack or any of the special effects when you shoot any of those. There are some kind of comedy moments in the game, but that's more of a visual thing, and that's about it. But that's it in a nutshell. So I'm gonna get into the meat and potatoes of any video game or any action, or any platformer. We're gonna talk about the gameplay. Gameplay wise, there are 4 playable characters in this game. Each of them having special abilities, how to platform and traverse. One character plays, all of them essentially play like somewhat Mega Man with different variants. You have, I would say, the character you see on the screen here, Red Man. He plays like Mega Man with just Mega Man. He plays like Mega Man. He's a slide, he's a jump, wall jump. They all have the same abilities. It's just how they interact with the stage is a bit different. Some characters can blow up walls. Some characters can teleport through items. Some characters can essentially kill items, and that's generally it. They all serve a purpose into how to traverse a level, but they don't really add much variety to the game because you're still doing essentially the same level. The only differences those extra characters could give based on ability is that they can help you find people to save. If you're trying to 100% this game, maybe that's the way to go. You play with it. And this game also has co-op multiplayer, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the multiplayer was fine. I did had a chance to play the multiplayer with Sif Scott, and the levels were again not much different, exactly the same. The boss's HP or the HP was roughly the same. It wasn't much to it. The current issue is when you playing this game, and after you beat I would say the first two, three intro levels of it, you get to the world map, which is very similar to a Super Mario World map. And I mean, Super Mario World map or Super Mario Bro map is, here's your characters on a screen, and you pick your character you have to go with, and that's pretty much that in a nutshell. You pretty much are like, I go up, down, left, right, and I pick the next level after it, and that's kind of okay. It's very Mario-esque, but that's all it is in a nutshell. The problem is that after you beat the intro levels on the levels, you really can't choose the other playable characters to unlock to beat with. So if I wanted to play with Banana Man or the Trash Can guy to go back to the level, do so. Nope, you can't do that. You have to go back to another level. You have to like restart the game and do that. You really can't do that early on in the game, and it's kind of like, why? I can't go back and use multiple characters 100%. You can't 100% the game in like one file. I mean, after maybe New Game Plus, obviously beat the game in one character, but it doesn't really feel good per se. It's like I would rather you let me do it in the middle of the game while I'm doing all the stuff. It's kind of frustrating in that regard. As a platformer, nothing really feels unique or like there's a lot of rarity and diversity. There is just like you get what you see, and that's pretty much it. I think the game is at best is a middling platformer, at worst just derivative. There isn't a lot of things in this game I feel that's unique to the platformer genre or done exceptionally well. It just kind of works the way it does. There is an interesting mechanic with saving people where like in every level will have a dog you can save, and essentially the babysit the dog by picking it up and moving around with it, and that's about it. But that's all it really is. It's just that instead of like touching a civilian to save, you just want to carry to the finish line. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. You can crank the difficulty be higher or whatever, but I didn't really notice anything more difficult. So you take more damage, and maybe some of the bosses have additional more HP. From a challenge standpoint, some plays other platformers like Celeste or any of that nature, it doesn't really capture my like taste of like, man, I really miss my older platformers. I go with this game and go like, wow, I miss some of my older platformers. If you know the difference, you know the difference. Overall, the gameplay of the game just serves at what it does, and it just serves. It does what a platformer does, but doesn't dazzle you in the way or feels as engaging, especially with the sound and everything else. Because they're like nothing. Because again, there are levels you wish you could go back, but you can't do it until you beat the game, and it doesn't really do much for you. I don't. I think that was a really, really like missed opportunity by the devs to not allow you to switch characters on the world map and retry levels to explore more secrets. So that kind of kills the engagement of everything. So overall, I'll give it a 2. It's serviceable, but nothing up there is outstanding or unique. Like most of the I mean, hell, some of the bosses are just like bigger versions of some enemies. You're gonna like of basic enemies you fight, and that's just about it in a nutshell. I generally think that most of the core problems of the game is and was the core problems, the core like lack of intuitiveness in the game. What's your problem? Is that if you played platformers before, you did it all. So at this point, either you're giving me a new experience, or you're being snappy or not being snappier or more polished in a certain way, being unique. It doesn't offer any of that. So overall, that's why I had to give the gameplay such like the score. Like it's functional, but that's about it. So if I had to like give a final score to the game, if I really really had to like grade it all based off the music, the music, how the game sounds, the art, and everything. Overall, I have to give the score of the game. It's just kind of a 2 out of 5. When a game comes out, I'm definitely going to tell you right now. Like if you want to play a platformer, it's on sale. I would just say wait for a sale. It's not a really bad game. It's just mediocre compared to the market of other platformers you can get right now and on your plate. Though this is an indie game, and I always say support your indies, this game I would say wait for a sale to pick it up. This game just doesn't offer anything relatively new to the platformer genre or is snapping in execution what it does. One of the core problems of this game is that it just doesn't. It has a lot of ideas that work, but it doesn't seem like it's put together in a way to make it at least fun. Even when I was playing with Sif Scott and we done a couple of levels, I just did. There wasn't any new pathways open to beat the level. There wasn't any new direction by picking a different character. You're just doing the same thing. Because like, oh, this time you get to save an extra minion, an extra civilian. That's it. Or maybe you have to fight the boss. Like the boss patterns are roughly the same. And since again most of the characters in this game are fight in a Mega Man style, which is jump and shoot man, or some characters do have a closer range with a proximity like Mega Man ZX or Mega Man Zero games where you're playing Zero be closer. That doesn't really match much diversity because I'm still, the pattern is still the characters are the same. So I'm still doing the same boss fight, just min maxing in a different direction. Overall, Basuroes Invasion is an okay platformer. It doesn't really have anything new to the table, or I feel anything that's kind of worth, to pick up right now. This is a game I would pick up on a sale, or maybe the developers, they make a second game, Basuroes Invasion 2, or if they make a new title, because they can learn from this. As an indie game that goes do better, maybe that's something I'll pick up in the future. But overall, this game just isn't hitting my palate or my crunch for 2D platforming, or even 2D action games. So overall, this game is a 2 out of 5. Just give it right there. It's a 2 out of 5, and I'm gonna wait for a sale for this game. There's nothing that needs to be patched to this game that's like broken, and it's not a game I say it's not good because it's functional. It has all the things going for it. It's just it's just not appetizing compared to other platformers that I've played, or even other platformers that currently in market that's within his wheelhouse is going for. So without the way, I want to give you guys a huge shout outs to the devs only on there play your game. I hope you guys make a better being in the future or add more to this game to make it more interesting. I'm looking forward to your next project. And if you haven't already, be sure to drop a follow to me on twitch.tv/GetSilius. You can subscribe to here on the Outerhaven YouTube page. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter @GetSilius. So you check me out if I'm doing anything cool, anything besides drinking liquid death. And I'll see you guys all in the future. Have a good one, everybody.